Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Aisha. Today we are going to talk about medial thigh muscles. Muscles of the medial compartment of thigh are also known as adductor muscles, as they cause adduction of thigh at hip joint. Adductor muscles are a group of 5 muscles which include obturator externus, adductor brevis, adductor longus, adductor magnus, and gracilis muscle. We'll talk about their origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action individually. The first muscle in the adductor group is adductor longus muscle. This muscle is most anteriorly placed of the adductor group. It arises by a strong tendon from anterior aspect of body of pubis just below and medial to the pubic tubercle. This is the origin point of adductor longus. It is then inserted into the middle third of linea aspera of femur, just lateral to the origin of vastus medialis muscle. In doing so, it covers the anterior aspects of adductor brevis and middle of adductor magnus muscles. Main action of the adductor longus, as its name indicates, is adduction of the thigh. Next muscle in the adductor group is adductor brevis muscle. As its name indicates, it is a short adductor muscle which lies deep to the pectineus and adductor longus muscle. It arises from the anterior surface of body of pubis and inferior ramus of pubis, just inferior to the origin of adductor longus. Its insertion point is just inferior to the origin. Its origin point is just inferior to the origin of adductor longus muscle. It is inserted into the pectineal line and proximal part of the linea aspera of femur. This is the insertion point of adductor brevis muscle. Main action of adductor brevis is adduction of the thigh, but it can also cause flexion of thigh to some extent. Another important point about this adductor brevis muscle is that when obturator nerve emerges from the obturator canal to enter the medial compartment of thigh, it splits into two divisions, an anterior and a posterior division. These two divisions pass anterior and posterior to this adductor brevis muscle. As you can see here, this purple muscle is adductor brevis muscle. This is anterior division of obturator nerve, which passes anterior to this muscle. This relationship is very useful in identifying the muscle during dissection and in anatomical cross sections. The next muscle in the adductor group is adductor magnus muscle. It is the largest and most powerful among the adductor muscles. It is most posterior muscle in this group. It has two parts, which are adductor and hamstring parts. Both these parts of adductor magnus muscle have different attachments, nerve supply, and actions. We'll talk about its adductor part first. This is adductor part of adductor magnus muscle, and this is hamstring part. Adductor part arises from inferior ramus of pubis and ramus of ischium. It is inserted into the gluteal line, entire length of linea aspera of femur and medial supracondylar line of femur. This adductor part is supplied by obturator nerve, and its action is adduction of thigh and flexion of thigh. Now comes the hamstring part. Hamstring part of adductor magnus muscle arises from ischial tuberosity. It is inserted into the adductor tubercle of the femur. This is adductor tubercle of the femur where its hamstring part is inserted. This part is supplied by tibial part of sciatic nerve. It is the only muscle in the adductor group which is supplied by tibial part of sciatic nerve. All the other muscles in the adductor group are supplied by obturator nerve. Action of this hamstring part is adduction of the thigh and extension of the thigh. There is an opening or hiatus between these two parts, distal parts of these adductor and hamstring muscle. This opening is known as adductor hiatus muscle. We'll talk about adductor hiatus and adductor canal later on. Next muscle in the adductor group is gracilis muscle. It is the most medial and superficial muscle in the adductor group. It arises from body and inferior ramus of pubis. As you can see here, this is the origin point of gracilis muscle. It then runs downwards and is inserted into the superior part of medial surface of tibia. There is another important point about insertion of gracilis muscle. Gracilis is the only member in adductor group which crosses the knee joint as well as the hip joint. Gracilis joins the other two joint muscles from other two compartments of thigh. As you can see here, it joins sartorius from the anterior compartment of thigh and semitendinosus from the posterior compartment of thigh. These three muscles, they unite and form a common tendinous insertion which is known as pes and serinus. This tendinous insertion into the superior part of medial surface is known as pes and serinus. All these muscles are innervated by three different nerves of their respective compartments. Talking about action of the gracilis muscle, main action is adduction of the thigh. As this muscle is a two joint muscle, which means it crosses the hip joint as well as the knee joint, so it is capable of flexing the leg and helps in rotating the leg medially when the knee is flexed. It acts with other two pes and serinus muscles to add stability to the medial aspect of the extended knee. The last muscle in adductor group is obturator externus muscle. It is a small flat muscle that is deeply placed in the supromedial part of thigh. It arises from external surface of obturator membrane and margins of obturator foramen. Obturator membrane lines the obturator canal. This area is the origin point of obturator externus muscle. It is then inserted into the posterior aspect of greater trochanter and trochanteric fossa of femur. This is greater trochanter of femur, this is lesser trochanter of femur, and this dotted one is the insertion point of obturator externus muscle. It is inserted into the posterior aspect of greater trochanter and trochanteric fossa of femur. This dotted line is showing the insertion of obturator externus muscle. Its action is lateral rotation of the thigh. It also studies head of femur in acetabulum. Talking about blood supply of the medial compartment. Medial compartment is supplied by obturator artery, which is a branch of internal iliac artery. We'll talk about blood supply at these arteries in detail in our next lecture. For now, just remember, medial compartment is supplied by obturator artery, which is a branch of internal iliac artery. Then comes nerve supply of the adductor muscles. All the muscles in the adductor group are supplied by obturator nerve. This is obturator nerve, which is supplying all the muscles in the adductor group except for hamstring part of the adductor magnus muscle, which is supplied by tibial part of sciatic nerve. Now talking about testing of adductor muscles. It is performed when the person is lying in supine position with the knee straight. The person is then asked to adduct the thigh against resistance. If adductors are normal, proximal ends of gracilis and adductor longus muscle can easily be palpated. Now let's talk about adductor hiatus. Hiatus means opening. So adductor hiatus is an opening or aperture between the aponeurotic distal attachment of the adductor part of adductor magnus and hamstring part of adductor magnus muscle. This gap or opening is adductor hiatus. Significance of this adductor hiatus is it transmits the femoral artery and vein from the adductor canal in the thigh to the popliteal fossa posterior to the knee. Popliteal fossa is a depression on the posterior surface of the knee. This opening is located just lateral and superior to the adductor tubercle of femur. This is the adductor tubercle of femur. This opening lies just superior and lateral to this tubercle. There is another important topic related to the medial compartment of thigh, which is adductor canal. Adductor canal, which is also known as subsartorial canal or Hunter's canal, is a long narrow passageway in the middle third of the thigh. It extends from the apex of femoral triangle. This green one is the femoral triangle. Femoral triangle is basically a triangular depression just below the inguinal ligament. It is through this triangle femoral vessels and nerve enters the thigh. So adductor canal starts from apex of this triangle and extends up to the adductor hiatus in the tendon of adductor magnus muscle. This is adductor hiatus. Adductor canal extends from apex of femoral triangle up to this adductor hiatus. This area is showing the extent of adductor canal. Significance of this canal is femoral vessels and nerve after entering the thigh through this femoral triangle passes through this adductor canal and leaves the adductor canal by emerging through this adductor hiatus. After emerging from this adductor hiatus, these vessels and nerve pass to the popliteal fossa, which is a depression on the posterior surface of the knee. This is an image of adductor canal showing passage of femoral vessels and nerve through the femoral triangle, adductor canal, and their exit from the adductor hiatus. You can see here femoral vessels enters the thigh by passing through the femoral triangle. They then pass through the adductor canal and leaves this canal by emerging through the adductor hiatus, which is an opening in the adductor magnus muscle, distal attachment of adductor magnus muscle, and enters the popliteal fossa. Now let's talk about the boundaries and contents of adductor canal. This is an image showing transverse section of thigh. This is anterior side of thigh. This is posterior. This is medial side of thigh and this one is lateral side of thigh. This is cross section of the femur. This green triangle is showing adductor canal. Now look at its boundaries. Adductor canal is bounded anteriorly and laterally by vastus medialis muscle. This is vastus medialis muscle. It is bounded posteriorly by adductor longus muscle. Adductor longus is forming the floor of this canal. Now talking about roof of this canal, or anterior and medial wall of this canal is formed by sartorius muscle. It lies deep to the sartorius muscle. That is why this canal is also known as subsartorial canal. Now, contents of the adductor canal. These are femoral artery, femoral vein, saphenous nerve and nerve to vastus medialis. These are the contents of adductor canal. In addition to that, in the inferior third to half of the canal, there is a tough subsartorial fascia. This green color is indicating subsartorial fascia, which spans between the vastus medialis and adductor longus muscle, forming the anterior wall of the canal deep to the sartorius. This is the subsartorial fascia, which forms anterior wall of the canal. It lies deep to the sartorius, spans between these two muscles, vastus medialis and adductor longus muscle. This is why this canal is also known as subsartorial or Hunter's canal. Femoral vessels pass deep to this fascia as they traverse the adductor canal. Now we'll talk about clinicals of the medial thigh muscles. These include transplantation of gracilis muscle, injury to the adductor longus muscle and groin pull. Number one is transplantation of gracilis muscle. As gracilis is a relatively weak member of adductor group of muscles, it can be removed without any noticeable loss of its action on the leg. Surgeons often transplant the gracilis or part of it with its nerve and blood vessels to replace a damaged muscle in the hand. For example, once the muscle is transplanted, it soon produces good digital flexion and extension. In addition to transplantation in hand, this muscle has also been relocated and repositioned to create a replacement for a non-functional external anal sphincter. Now let's talk about injury to adductor longus muscle. Injury to adductor longus often occur in sports that require fast acceleration, deceleration and changes in direction. For example, in ice hockey, cricket, football and rugby, etc. This injury may also occur in horseback riders and produce pain, which is known as rider's strain. Sometimes ossification occurs in the tendons of these muscles because the horseback riders actively adduct their thighs to keep them from falling from their animals. These ossified tendons are sometimes wrongly called as rider's bone. The third one is groin pull, or you can say groin injury. Groin pull is basically a strain, stretching or tearing of the proximal attachments of anteromedial thigh muscles. This injury usually involves the flexor and adductor thigh muscles. This is the proximal attachment of these muscles. This region is known as groin region or inguinal region, which is located at the junction of trunk and thigh. That is why this type of strain or injury is known as groin injury. Groin pulls usually occur in sports that require quick starts or extreme stretching. That's all about the medial thigh muscles and their clinicals. Thank you.